I never thought I'd say this, but it needs to be said. Anthony, Mr. I never thought I'd say this, but it needs to be said. Mr. Glass, Anthony Davis, I hate to say this about you because you were a talent once upon a time, but lately, you a bitch.
Oh, brother. Here we go.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have never left California.
This Bronxexual will upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no. Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Whoop. Press the button. Forgot to press the button. Good morning. Welcome to the championship Manic Monday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. We're running behind, and Shane and I are going to take you through the next 100 minutes. You will see Coffee with McCarthy, but it'll be separate. It'll be on the YouTube page later this afternoon because we had to tape that last night. Everyone's schedule has been out of control, but I can announce this. 1 week from today, we will move to the 8 a.m. slot and compete and defeat the big boys. So stay tuned for all of that. My partner is Shane. My partner is Shane Lake. Big Dog, how are you feeling this morning, my man?
Man, I'm surprised I'm even awake right now. 2 nights of WrestleMania. Thank God Cody finished story there.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm alive.
Good. Same here after that women's championship, and that's where we'll open the show. Listen, I am going to say this and say this out loud. Angel Reese is not better than Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is not better than Angel Reese. They are on equal footing, and they are going to do for the WNBA what Larry Bird and Magic Johnson did for the NBA. I said that aloud a couple of days ago, and people thought I was sick in the head. But Camila Cardoso made a difference in yesterday's championship game. Tessa Johnson made a huge difference with 19 points off the bench. And you know how I am about researching numbers. Mm-hmm. What killed Iowa yesterday were 2 things. They allowed 44 rebounds, and South Carolina got 37 points off the bench. 37 of their 87 points off the bench, which shows you the superior depth of the South Carolina Gamecocks. and shows you what Coach Lisa Bluter, God bless her, has to work on for Iowa for next season, especially replacing the production of Caitlin Clark. But I want to touch it in this sense, and I want to put it in the form of a question to you. Why are people to this day still hating on women's college basketball? I have to know something like that.
I don't have the answer. I really don't.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part. I mean, everything for women's college ball has either been on ESPN3 or just now dealing with the Final Four and the playoffs on ESPN.
And most of the college basketball games, women or men, have been on ESPN Plus. So first, the first problem is there's no access because it's behind a paywall. It's a paywall that I subscribe to because, you know, I love the small college sports. You've known this for as long as you've known me. And I've covered small college sports for a long, long time.
Yep.
But come on, y'all. You remember when the women's national championship was on CBS on free television? Yeah. Matter of fact, that's where Rebecca Lobo made her name in 1995 when Connecticut won it all.
I remember that.
The first women's Final Four was 1982. Official Final Four was in 1982 at the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. And it's the same problem to this day that the women have faced and continue to face, and that is lack of equality in terms of coverage. And why do I bring this up? Because I am a big fan of women's sports, and I've been a bigger fan since I've covered it. But what I will applaud ESPN for, what I will applaud ABC for, is that they had the starting lineups and they went to the public address for said starting lineup. So they're trying to play it like the men play it when they do their introductions. And a shout to my good buddy Gene Honda, who does the men's Final Four and has done it for years. But there's still, don't you think there's still something missing in that coverage? That's one question I don't have.
Missing.
Yeah, that's the one question I don't have the answer to. What's missing?
I mean, we had the names this year in the tournament: Clark, Reese, etc. So it's not like there's no name brand there. It's just there's an oomph missing.
But how do we fix that? Because the coverage that ESPN had of women's college basketball, I will say firsthand, was amazing. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
They had the right voice in Ryan Rucco calling the game yesterday for ABC, doing the national championship. He's the right voice for them. Rebecca Lobo, great analysis. Absolutely fabulous. All right. But it's like you said, there's still that oomph missing, especially when Caitlin Clark puts on a show. I've done 10 Iowa games this year, but
I've been there for a few of them.
Yep, you have. You have, especially the overtime game against Nebraska in the Big Ten Women's Championship. The game
and then the game we called, what was it, last Saturday?
Yeah, against LSU. B. Dyer Sports Network. Women's college basketball is finally marketable, and this is just the beginning. I believe it is. A week from today, we'll have the WNBA draft, and we'll have it live. But
that's going to be a long one.
But I'm ready for it.
We got so many drafts we're covering this month.
Yep. The NFL draft, the WNBA draft, we're covering all of it. RC on Aces says losing to South Carolina was less painful for me than losing to LSU. I just felt South Carolina was classier in victory, and I really appreciate Dawn's kind words post-game and brilliant mind. She's a great woman. Agreed.
Now, I posed this to you yesterday. Does this loss hurt Clark's stock?
Hell no. I mean, granted, she tried putting the team on her shoulders late in the fourth quarter, and South Carolina bottled her up. But again, it shows the superior depth of South Carolina and the lack of depth for Iowa. Does it stain Caitlin Clark's legacy? Hell to the no. Why? Because that was already established. All right. And people are still going to hate on her, even though she's going to be the number 1 draft pick next Monday night by the Indiana Fever. Count on that.
Hate on her like most of the former ESPN analysts have.
Yep. And still do.
Yep.
And still do. And that's horrible to me. It's
disturbing.
It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. Angel Reese has declared for the draft. She is projected to go 8th. Camila Cardoso from South Carolina. This is a star-studded class heading into the WNBA. And this is about as star-studded of a class than the very first one they put together in 1997. When they first formed the league. So let me ask you this. I had someone say to me that women's basketball was not enjoyable.
Are they watching the same games?
You read my mind. That was the exact question I had. Like, not as enjoyable. You know why women's basketball is better? Because the fundamentals are there. Simply put. And I've said this for years.
Look at the matchups we had in the bracket.
Mm-hmm. I've said for years that women's basketball is better because it's more fundamentally sound. I've said that for years, and I continue to stand on it.
The last 6 games we had in the brackets were all slugfest.
Yep.
And you didn't know what was going to happen until the last quarter.
You know, and that started with the last home game ever for Caitlin Clark when they played West Virginia in the second round.
Yeah.
Because West Virginia did something South Carolina did more of. They got physical. They got physical. And that was the biggest chink in Iowa's armor. They were not physical enough, especially to contend with the length of potentially UCLA. They competed with LSU and beat them, but they could never compete with the length of South Carolina.
I mean, looking through the brackets, okay, you had Iowa, Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
LSU, UCLA.
Yep.
That was a slugfest. USC, Baylor, slugfest.
Mm-hmm.
UConn, Duke.
Mm.
Oh, dear God.
Mm.
NC State, Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Gonzaga. Oregon State, Notre Dame.
Yep.
That was a slugfest.
Yeah, it was.
And then South Carolina, Indiana.
Mm-hmm. And
Starting on that end alone, all of those were slugfest.
It was a gauntlet. It was a
was.
gauntlet. It was a gauntlet all the way through. And in the games with South Carolina, they didn't pull away until the second half. And yesterday against Iowa, they didn't pull away until midway through the third quarter. But Iowa went through a drought. And Iowa went through a drought where they couldn't throw it in the ocean. And South Carolina took advantage, took a 3-point lead, didn't relinquish it. That's what superior, great teams do. And Dawn Staley, man, let me applaud Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Okay, because they have done something that's only happened 10 other times in women's college basketball. That's run the table. That is run the table. They get revenge against Iowa. But I'll take a matchup like that in the championship any day of the week. Can they? I was wishing during the game yesterday. I didn't say it aloud, but I'll say it here. Can they play 2 out of 3? I wish they could
3 out of 5.
I wish that would be the case. That's the final series they have in the WNBA, and we are going to cover the WNBA this year. But who's the second pick behind Caitlin Clark, you think? Is it
Reese.
Angel? Is it Angel Reese?
It's got to be Reese.
Then why are they projecting her to go as low as 8th in the draft?
Because her injuries are haunting her.
Yeah, and she had a big injury against Iowa last
That
Monday. But still 17 points and 20 rebounds.
It doesn't matter. There's you can have the 17 and 20, but if you're known to be injured, it's going to hurt.
Yeah. RC says Caitlin Clark trying to do it alone felt like watching Allen Iverson trying to beat Shaq and Kobe and the Lakers in 2001 by himself, basically. Yeah, that's what it felt like in the second half. Caitlin Clark had 18 points in the first quarter, scored only 12 since then.
Yeah, there was no way. They contained her.
Yeah, they did. I'll be interested. RC again. I'll be interested to see who's really going to watch us with my GOAT leaving now. I'll be watching Clark with the Fever, but will the real fans still continue to support Iowa basketball? That is a great question. I will, because I can count on Lisa Bluter getting more superior draft classes. I can count on Dawn Staley in South Carolina getting more superior draft classes. I can count on Tara Vanderveer at Stanford getting more superior draft classes. It's going to happen.
Oh, easily.
It's going to happen. Cam Brink from Stanford or Rakea Jackson from Tennessee, they could go second and third because they're projecting Cam Brink to go second.
I could see that.
I can see that also. I'm going to be interested in see who the Sky select in the first round because they need a difference maker. The difference maker that got them the championship 3 years ago was Candace Parker. Playing with a hometown club. They need someone like that. They had Elena Deladon, and then she got sick and eventually shipped off to Washington. So we'll have to see what happens. Let's take a break. And when we come back, John Calipari put his tail between his legs and ran all the way to Arkansas. What? And that came in the middle of the night. More when we get back on Snowman in the Morning in a flash.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze claw.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
SNWMN Multimedia is where you can find us and follow along with us. The show is returning to Twitter as well. That's where we're getting a lot of our fans from. We want to thank you for that. John Calipari
went to Arkansas.
Yep. That
Why?
news broke late last night. When I say late, I'm talking about when I walked in this house, because I didn't look at my phone while I was driving Sonya to work. I walked in the house, looked at my phone, and saw that alert. And I went, what?
I think a lot of people just went, what?
My other question is why? Why? He's the one that's he's the reason for the one and done league.
And for some reason, he decides to go to Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. And there are people saying he desperately wanted away from Kentucky.
That's one way to do it.
Part of the way I can see that. Part of the I can see that. You know, but he's at fault for it.
Yeah, he is.
He's at fault for it, for establishing this one and done culture. He was 9-16 in 2021. They got beat by St. Peter's in 2022, a 15 seed. They earned a 6 seed last year and didn't go all the way. They were a 3 seed this year and they lose to Oakland University. And that got every alumnus at Kentucky saying, fire Calipari. I think Calipari should have been fired before COVID, because you were brought there, John Calipari, to win championships, not just one. And since that one in 2012, he hasn't done much.
True.
So the question for Kentucky is, now what?
I don't know.
Who would be the best coaches to take that job? Who would want to take that job? Who would want that? Who would want that job? I wouldn't. But there are some candidates, including the Bulls coach Billy Donovan, of course Rick Pitino, Nate Oates, Dan Hurley, who led Connecticut to a championship. All of them could replace John Calipari. Nate Oates for Alabama took Alabama to the Final Four. And he's been at Alabama 5 years. Baylor coach Scott Drew, someone I know very well. And that's because of his friendship with Barnhart. The last coach to lead to back-to-back titles in the NCAA, Billy Donovan, when he did it at Florida, before getting ousted at Oklahoma City. And I suspect after this year, he's going to be ousted from the Bulls. Of course, you got Dan Hurley, current UConn coach. He ain't leaving. Let's just start there. Hurley is not leaving. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you all this, but Dan Hurley ain't leaving Connecticut. Not when he's on the brink of doing something only Billy Donovan has done recently. That's win back-to-back titles. And we'll talk about the national title game when we come back from a break. But Dan Hurley ain't leaving. Then you got Sean Miller, the current Xavier coach, who was formerly at Arizona in his second stint. as head of Xavier. Is Sean Miller a good fit for this job? I say no. I don't think so.
Not a chance.
No. Not a chance. But I'll ask the question again. Who would want this job?
Nobody.
Well, somebody's going to have to take it. It ain't going to be my ass.
Ain't mine either.
I can't. Can you imagine coaching in the SEC? How much pressure that puts on you? Nick Saban, hello. And I'm talking football with that. Yeah. All right. Like I said, who would want that job? I sure as hell wouldn't. I sure as hell
don't want it.
I don't want it, and I don't need it. Period.
Makes two of us.
Yeah. Let's take a break. When you all get back, we will discuss the national championship, and I'm going to make the dog smile because we're going to talk potential draft busts, and you know who the first one is. We'll be back right after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby!
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. But this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Bobby J and Wise El Jefe, Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
This portion of Snowman in the Morning is brought to you by Invader Coffee, fuel for the fearless. Speaking of which, y'all will see Coffee with McCarthy. Ugh. I can't talk.
Sing that
I can't talk this morning. All right, let's talk NFL draft. Who is going to be the biggest bust out of this draft class?
Caleb Williams.
Agreed.
There's no other answer.
And yet you have Bear fans all over the place saying he's going to be the savior for the Bears, and they don't even work on the biggest problem that they have.
Lack of offensive line.
Lack of an offensive line and lack of a running game. Because they stupidly let David Montgomery walk to Detroit.
Look who their coach is.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your problem.
Matt Eberflus.
Eberflus.
Yep. Matt Eberflus. What the hell is an Eberflus anyway? Huh? I never figured that out. Anyway.
The blue hell if I know.
Anyway. Caleb Williams is a bust. waiting to happen.
Yep.
Have y'all seen him play at USC? His best days were at Oklahoma. Should have finished there.
Even then, those days were
sketchy. You know what put him on? You know what put him on the map? I'll tell you exactly what put Caleb Williams on the map. The game against Texas in 2021, when they rallied from a 21-point deficit to win that game. That's the only reason, in my eyes, that Caleb Williams is on the map. You know?
See that.
And that game was sketchy at best because then he trusted his teammates.
Yeah, and that didn't work out well.
Nope. So why do you think he did so bad at USC?
The offense wasn't tailored to him.
You know what frightens me about Caleb Williams is not his physical attributes, but his mental attributes.
What mental attributes?
He doesn't have any. Look at the game
against.
Look at the game against Utah.
Like I said, what mental attributes?
Why do people believe in him so much?
Because they want to put their faith in something higher. And unfortunately, he ain't it.
You know what I mean? Like what the Patriots did with Mac and Cheese Jones?
Don't get me started.
Go for it. Take it.
You mean
Go
that?
For it.
That was the biggest mistake.
Mm-hmm. They depended on Mac Jones to replace the legendary Tom Brady.
That didn't work.
And then Bailey Zappi showed up. I want you to take the floor on this one because what your Patriots are going through and what the Bears are going through, and I sit back and laugh at these Bear fans. Take the floor.
How do you think I feel being a Patriot fan? Honestly, this is ridiculous. We're going to end up probably drafting a quarterback, but we already have 3 we've signed. Zappi's on there. Kid Rourke. And washed up dude named Brissett. Yeah, you really think we're going to trust him? I don't see that working out.
You know what you do? You give the ball
to Rourke?
Yep. Give the ball to Kid Rourke right now.
But you know what New England's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brissett, here's the ball.
Why? Why would
9
they
years
give
in the league and plus millions spent?
But he's not the best option to run that offense.
No, he's not. But the problem is experience and wages talk.
The best quarterback to run that offense right now is Nathan Rourke. Period.
I know this.
Give the ball to Kid Rourke. Or as they said in the CFL, to the remarkable Rourke.
Coaching. You really think Mayo's going to get the ball?
Point taken.
Yeah.
Point taken. And Jared Mayo's not fit to run that team.
No.
Can you honestly? I'll borrow a question from boys at the Sportsocracy. Can you honestly look me in the eye and tell me that Jared Mayo is the best candidate to run the Patriots?
No.
I can't do it either. I can't see it.
I legit looked down at my camera. No.
You looked at his press conference. Give me your thoughts on his initial press conference with the Patriots.
Nervous. Biggest thing I saw was nerves.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who he's taking over for.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to be in a building phase.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still nervous about it all. I saw no enthusiasm. I saw no calmness. I don't think this year is going to go well for us.
So tell me this. If this year's not going to go well, how are the other years going to go?
Depends on how we draft.
True. True.
Depends on if we make any moves at the trade deadline.
All right, I'll tailor another question to you. What else do you need to draft?
Running back. I mean, we got decent, but we don't have anything explosive.
No game breakers.
No.
This is where Blake Corum comes in.
Wide receiving core is meh at best.
For running back, this is, like I said, where Blake Corum comes in for you guys.
That would be helpful.
Corum is an actual running back that can play the position very well.
We need that one. What's that term I've heard? Cowbell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One bell cow running back. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Because the Patriots haven't had one for a long time.
And the ones we've had that are close have been hurt.
Uh-huh. Curtis,
And
my
Big
favorite.
Zeke was-
Curtis, my favorite Martin. Anyone?
Oh, God, I remember those days.
He was doing
bright-
great until he got injured.
Those bright blue road unis. I remember those days.
When they changed Pat Patriot.
Yep. To, I think, the Flying Elvis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember. I remember too well.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do, being a Patriots fan. When they had to wear those, when they wore those red ass uniforms at home.
Oh, God. I'm glad they're a throwback.
Same here.
Don't get me wrong. I'd get one if I had a chance, but it's a throwback.
Mm-hmm. A throwback to, you know what? When they started changing things around in 1990, when I went away to college, I'm still looking at their uniforms going, what the blank is that?
There's a lot of teams we do that for even now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad Tampa Bay got rid of those creamsicles.
I don't miss the creamsicle uniforms. I don't.
No, neither do I.
I don't. I don't like those creamsicle uniforms. I just read something. You know what? I got to do this.
Okay.
I got to do it this way. And this is probably going to get a separate cut here in a moment. But while we have been talking about draft picks, I've been getting a lot of feedback. And as I was perusing social media, mistake on my part.
God.
Dear God in heaven, I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I read something that'll make you laugh out loud.
Okay.
Quote, Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen. Close quote.
What?
So, of course, I had to jump all over that. And I said, Brock Purdy is better than both of them. And then there's Patrick Mahomes. Of course, the underlying tone, Patrick Mahomes is better than everybody that's named in that post. I bet you somebody doesn't get it. I bet you.
Most people won't.
I'm willing to bet you someone doesn't get it.
I guarantee you they won't.
They won't get. They won't get it. The things we find on social media. And one of my buddies from Chicago jumped all over my post and said, "You're wrong. You're wrong about Caleb. Can you tell who watches football and who doesn't by the power of social media? Because you see people in their feelings a lot. Okay." You've seen it. You've seen it. I've seen it. People get in their feelings a lot. All right.
Look at the worlds I live in. NASCAR. Thank you. Pro wrestling. Oh, dear God. I deal with it constantly.
Agreed.
You think I don't deal with my own share of idiots?
NASCAR and pro wrestling, folks. That's enough. Me?
Yeah.
I got baseball, basketball, football, and hockey.
Oh, I dabble in those too.
Mm-hmm.
But my two worlds that I focus with,
Mm-hmm.
caramba.
Is it that
It's
bad?
bad. It's bad.
It's bad. Is it that bad?
It is horrible.
Why is it so bad? I gotta know before we go to halftime. I gotta say that. Why?
The NASCAR fan base, you've got 40 drivers on track, which each has their own fan bases. And if something goes wrong, they clash. And you got me looking on the outside like, what the blue hell are you idiots smoking? Oh, Denny Hamlin jumped the restart. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did that. He goes on to admit it. Why ain't NASCAR doing anything? NASCAR came out and said it was a bang-bang play. That's enough.
Sounds like replay problems to me.
Oh, they replayed it, and they even admitted that Denny went early. Just going back to Richmond last weekend. Yeah, Denny went about a car and a half early.
Oops.
But NASCAR said, since it was so late in the race, screw it, we're letting it go. But if it was lap 10, lap 30, different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
They flat out said it's a ball and strike call when it comes to the restart zone.
Damn.
Welcome to what I deal with on a weekly basis. And I call this crap.
You did. I've checked in on a couple of your calls, man. I've checked in on a couple of them. Let's take a break as we reach halftime. When we come back, the dog will tell you about his Sunday. And to say it was busy would be an understatement.
Yeah.
So y'all got to hear this because he's been sending me messages all weekend, and I swear he was acting like my dog Lucy, running around from place to place, going. Dog hanging, you know how a dog runs around and their tongue's hanging out after running one place and then running back to you. You see that for those of you on the for those of you in the television audience, that face right there that Shane just made, that's what happened yesterday. He'll tell you all about it when y'all get back.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you talk, they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
Alex is just...
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Y'all think I was running around like a madman this weekend? We're back, top of the hour, second half of Snowman in the Morning is here with you. What I went through this weekend, or this past week, was nothing compared to what the Big Dawg experienced in about 48 hours.
Where to begin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 3 great races at Martinsville and 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Yep.
And night 2 was blissful. I don't know how else to describe the main event. Cody and Roman. Bloodline rules after Roman and Rock beat Cody and Seth Saturday night in the main.
Mm-hmm.
We had Roman and Cody started. Jimmy and Jay showed up and took each other out. Then Solo shows up. Cena comes out of nowhere, takes him out. Rock comes out, takes out Cena. Undertaker shows up, takes out Rock. And then Cody hits 3 Crossroads. And they spend 35 minutes celebrating. Everybody and their brother in ring celebrating with Cody. And not a dry eye in the house.
I must admit, I saw that celebration, and my eyes weren't dry either. There's no way they can be.
The storytelling this past year between Cody and Roman was incredible. There's no other way to put it.
Why do you think it worked so well? Because people have asked that about rivalries in the past. Why do you think it worked so well?
Triple H, the new regime. H knew how to book it. Rock knew how to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
All the pieces integrated. Seth coming out saying, "Hey, I got your back. I'll be your shield." We knew where that was going.
Yeah, we did.
Rollins came out to try to help out. And then Roman blasted with a chair, hearkening back to when Seth split the shield up.
And all hell broke loose after that.
Oh, it did.
But see, folks, when this weekend starts, and I told Jody I'm doing the chores so you can rest, and she loved that.
Right.
I get a message from the Big Dawg when I finally get back to consciousness, and it read 3 words. Oh, hell no. I immediately jumped out and called him and said, talk. I got to do 3 races, and plus it's night 1 of WrestleMania. I'm going to be tired.
Somehow I'm still fun.
You know what's funny, folks? Damned if I didn't call him. And we were talking, and both of us wound up snoring in the middle of the call.
Yep. This week.
Both of us, I swear to you, folks. I called Big Dawg after I put a load of laundry in. Jody said, wife asked me, who you calling? My friend Shane. Okay. She passed out. I called Shane. We talked for about 10 minutes, and then we pass out.
And then came yesterday.
Oh,
you
God.
got to do the Iowa game.
Yep.
I'm busy with Martinsville.
Mm-hmm.
And night 2 of Mania.
Man, yesterday, I told Jody the same thing. You rest. I got the rest of this. Doing laundry, making sure the kitchen's done, doing dishes. And then I get another message. This time, it was from one of my homies back in Chicago. Are you doing the Women's National Championship? Yes. What time are you on? 10 minutes to 3. I'll see you there. Oh, boy. Apparently, he told a lot of people because right after they introduced the starting lineups, they came flying in. And I want to tell y'all, thank you for everyone who watched our coverage of women's college basketball, because the reception was absolutely incredible with the games that we did.
We had some huge stats on our games.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. But yeah, Saturday began with, oh, hell no. And went through Lupin is with us. Great show. BGS crew in the house. Thank you. Thank you very much. If y'all like what you're seeing here, please help me help my family with a Cash App donation. The tag you need is $ Tallman Dr. K50. I'll put this in the chat right now. But man,
we killed ourselves this weekend.
Man, and Jody playfully, Jody playfully barked at me about it. I deserved it. I deserved it.
Oh, the things we do, man.
But
I think we're just getting started.
We're just getting busy. The Golden State Warriors have clinched a playoff berth. Or at least
I knew that was coming.
Or at least they play in berth.
I'm not surprised.
Me neither. But man, this past weekend, when I like I said, Saturday ran around, did laundry, got a message from Shane, talked on the phone for 10 minutes. We pass out. Shane finally hung up, and I heard the sound. It was about 10 after 1 when I called him. Folks, I ain't making this up. It was about 10 after 1 when I called Shane. 10 minutes later, we pass out. Shane finally hangs up the phone. I hear it. And I look at my phone and it's 5:15.
Yep. And I'm like, well, I slept through the first 15 minutes of pre-show of Mania.
Here's the kicker. When I heard you hang up, I woke up, looked at my phone, and I said, I have to prep for my game tomorrow. My wife says, what game do you have? I says, Iowa and South Carolina, and it's the Women's National Championship. And she gave me a vote of confidence, says, oh, you're climbing into your niche. Hell yeah, I am. I passed out again. I passed out again. And this is after then came yesterday. Woke up 8 a.m. I go back to sleep. Next time I woke up, it was 11:10. It was 10 after 11 when I finally you know how you wake up several times and you're not conscious?
Yep. Oh yeah.
And you think of everything that you have to do. Well, come here, Lucy. This one here stayed with us the other night after a long while. Not ready to like take her back every night, but she knows to go sleep on the couch now. She's been in my lap the whole show. But this one was whining, saying, all right, I'll take the dog out. I took the dog out, came back, and I asked Joe, do you want me to get some lunch? You know, we had Jimmy John's for lunch.
Nice.
Hour and a half before the game, I come back with Jimmy John's. And I had their buffalo chicken sandwich. Try it. That's all I got to say to y'all. Try it. And Jimmy John's, if you're looking for a show to sponsor, you got one right here.
I'll give you my morning.
Uh-oh. Let's hear it.
So I didn't fall asleep till about 1 a.m. This was after night one of Mania. I was still that wound up.
I thought that was bad.
I roll over maybe 10 minutes of 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think nothing of it. My phone goes off 10 after 7.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine that I help with her streams and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She decided to have an early stream.
Oh,
She's
no.
out in the UK. So it's like noontime for her.
Yeah.
I go in the chat for the stream. I'm like, I'm barely awake, but you need me to show up? She's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to wake you. I'm like, do you need me in voice chat? Because I'm all over Discord.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, I could use it. So I blow my voice box completely out before 7:30 in the morning. And I literally went Robin Williams on her chat. I pulled the full good morning on live on chat. And that's how my morning started. Yeah. Mind you, Martinsville at 3.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania at 7.
Yep.
And I didn't get to sleep till midnight.
Thank you, Lupin, for the super sticker. I think this is my first super sticker. That's my first super sticker on the channel.
So
do me a favor. Do me a favor, folks. If you can support via Cash App, would really appreciate that. And that is a more immediate impact for me right here. You see the tag, $ Tallman Dr. K50. But as you say,
yeah. Welcome to my Sunday. Now, mind you, I don't have my computer usually on
right
till about 10
because
I'm getting ready to prep for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I had this thing running full blown 7:15, and it didn't get off till midnight.
Oh wow,
that says a lot.
Yep, I've had a few of those nights. I've had quite a few of those nights.
And I still need to get laps on the racetrack myself.
Yikes.
Yeah, well, good news is Monday.
Mm-hmm. That's the good news. The better news is we got some more stuff for you. I think we'll go back to the draft.
Okay.
And I'm still going to mock the Bears. Let's mock the mocks when y'all get back.
Let's do it.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the 4 Horsemen of Peckham's. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Okay. 2 weeks of the United Football League are in place right now. 2 weeks are completed.
Yep.
I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is I like the play and the style of the UFL. I'm digging it.
A little more fast-paced.
Mm-hmm. The bad news is the fans still ain't coming out to support it, except for the ones in St. Louis.
True.
40,000 at the Dome in St. Louis for a walk-off field goal. Why aren't the fans coming out and supporting this league?
They still find it to be the baby brother of the NFL. What else is there to say?
I think The Rock dropped the ball on this one in terms of having it be a development league for the NFL. I think they dropped the ball on this one because remember back in '95, NFL Europe was the development league for the NFL. It was the old World Football League, right?
Yeah.
Why couldn't they make this the same thing? Do you think
They're trying to be more competition?
But why are they trying to be more competition? I mean, I understand the budgets, but you only have 8 teams. The NFL is 32. You know how long it took them to get to 32 teams? Hell, you know how long it took them to get. Hell, you know how long it took them to get to 28? Because when I started watching back in 1979, there were 28 teams.
But we all know The Rock is competitive. He wants this to be sole competition to the NFL.
So how can it how do you market this to the fans and get them to come out? How do you market this?
If I knew that answer, I'd be working for them. Because that's what they need.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
If it was me,
how would you do it? There you go. There's a question right there. How would you do it?
TV network deals are different.
Yeah, you know what? Bring the UFL here to us.
Streaming the games would be ideal.
Streaming the games and not behind a damn paywall either. Don't stream the games behind don't stream the games behind a damn paywall.
I'd also maybe lower the prices of tickets a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, 50-yard line seats, I could still see them going for a couple hundred.
Mm-hmm.
But cheap seats, chop them down $40, $50.
Yeah, I'll give
There
you
you go.
that. I'll give you that.
Chop the concessions down a little bit. There you go. Make it more family friendly for marketing. I mean, look how much you spend for an NFL game.
I would love to see all that happen. Make it more fan friendly, like what they do with the minor leagues for baseball.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Learn what the minor leagues do for baseball, because long as you've known me, I covered the Gary South Shore Railcats.
I've gone to my share of minor league games.
Mm-hmm. That's the first thing you do. You got to market it to the fans, and they're messing up.
You also got to market it for the right TV deal.
Exactly. Give us that, man.
I mean, NASCAR is going to drop the ball next season.
How so?
They've got 5 games going on Amazon Prime. 5 races going on Amazon.
Why? Why
multi-billion-dollar deal.
Stop.
I'm not kidding.
Stop. Jeez.
And here's one for you.
Talk to me.
January next year.
Mm-hmm.
Monday Night Raw goes on Netflix.
Huh?
Multi-billion-dollar deal. Monday Night Raw. Netflix.
So Monday Night Raw is going behind a paywall?
Yep. And a lot of the streaming events go in there too.
You know, what I do for the UFL, all I ask is give us a little money to operate and we'll stream your games, all of them. Hell, I want to be there to call some of them, for God's sakes.
Right.
I want to be there to call some of them.
I'd be down.
But these multi-billion-dollar deals are not catered to how the they're not catered to the fans that are classified as casual, which I'm not. I'm a football maniac. But they're not catered to the fan that cut the cord when it comes to cable and doesn't want to live behind a damn paywall.
No, they're not.
That's part of the reason, Jason Joseph, thank you for this, why I do alternative play-by-play for some leagues.
Exactly.
That's one reason I do it. So they dropped the ball.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, they dropped the ball. Keeping the same 2 networks, because what if you get a cable deal and you don't have FS1? That's included. And some of the UFL games are going to be on FS1.
Yeah, exactly.
The other league that scares me that they're going to put behind a paywall is the Arena Football League.
That wouldn't surprise me. And that's unfortunate.
When the Arena Football League was on ESPN in its infancy, I loved it.
I remember games on NBC.
Me too. Me too, man. That needs to come back.
NBC, ABC,
Mm-hmm.
CBS.
CBS had a couple of them. CBS had the Major Indoor Soccer League, for God's sakes.
Yep.
They had the Major Indoor Soccer League.
I grew up when I was watching NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
5 different networks.
Wow.
TNN,
mm-hmm.
CBS, ESPN,
mm-hmm.
ABC.
Yep.
And then NBC covered a few. But it was all spread throughout.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
CBS had the Daytona 500 for the longest time.
They sure did.
From the start, 1979, when they first went flag to flag.
Mm-hmm.
Right up until the new deal when Fox took over. Don't get me started with Fox screwing up.
And I'm, you know what? Over the years, Fox Sports has pissed me off.
They've pissed a lot of people off.
Fox Sports has pissed me off. Seriously.
They blow the coverage.
Just like ESPN blew it when they took the NBA contract. I looked at a few games that was on ESPN back in the early 80s. And it was cool. They had the cool coverage. They had the cool cats doing it.
Yep.
Now, after Mike Tirico left, now what? I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it, man.
Unless it's baseball or football, the coverage is blown.
Mm-hmm. But why do you think
we had a wreck at Martinsville last lap? No one saw it.
Wow.
We had to wait for NASCAR to release the footage on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Fox could have covered that, but no, they were more focused on the fact of Hendrick Motorsports going 1, 2, 3. Now, yes, it's a 40th anniversary of Hendrick, but you're also there to call action. You missed the action. We knew Byron was going to run away with the end of it. Show the wreck.
But they didn't want
the
to
most
show
infamous
it.
case of this. Let me give you this one.
Mm-hmm.
Truck race at Knoxville a couple of years ago. FS1 covering the race.
Mm-hmm.
They missed a truck flipping, and they missed a truck right in the catch fence in the same race.
Wow.
Because they didn't have the camera cover. Does that tell you how Fox feels about things?
I mean, Fox Sports was cool in 1994 when they took the NFC contract from CBS. Since then, like you said, they've blown the coverage.
I remember when Fox Sports had a PlayStation when they did the NBA.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Fox Sports did the NBA.
Fox Sports had the NBA for a while. This was back in like 2000.
That's right. They did. They did.
Yeah.
Because Sports Channel became Fox Sports. Ugh.
And
I remember
then-
that transition.
And then FS1 was the remains of Speed Channel when they swapped that over in 2013. But yeah, Fox Sports had NBA, and I had their PlayStation game.
Damn. All right.
Tell me about it.
Let's take another break. We got more stuff for you when you all get back.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Everything Boston. I love you, you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Snowman and the Dog here with you. We're going to get out a little bit early today. Don't forget, I taped a conversation with Ryan McCarthy, so Coffee with McCarthy will be on the YouTube channel. For those of you watching on YouTube, subscribe via youtube.com. And it's 77 degrees out, and I want to get a walk. I want to get it walking. In the meantime, I want y'all to remember this.
Yes.
Well, had a little trouble with that. I apologize, but it was my famous FU rant from last year from the Bronx.
Oh God.
I had someone ask me about that.
And?
Well, you know what? Y'all will only hear it, but why don't I just play it?
Oh God.
Why don't I just why don't I just play it? And I'm trying to find it right now. And let me clarify.
There.
LeBron, as out of my face, you thirsty hooker horse. You
said that Monday too.
This is from last
Call
year.
the roll
Give me the PSA intro, please. Wait, what? What'd you say, Cole?
I said the raw hatred.
Cole, give me the PSA.
Following is a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
Boston.
This has been a public service announcement from Wise El Jefe.
This is my PSA. LeBron. And all he stands for as a basketball player. LeBron sucks. Bronny sucks. Bryce is going to be worse. You. Dear LeBron James, as a humanitarian, you're cool. As a basketball player, you. Dear Bronsexuals, you too. For y'all have ruined fandom just like LeBron has ruined the NBA for 20 years. You. And I repeat, you. Now get the out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
And before you conclude, Bronsexuals, you are worse than the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
No, you worse than the Dallas Cowboys. Now get the out of my face, you thirsty bitches.
You at least want to see the Cowboys cheerleaders. I don't know about the team.
Yes. Here it comes.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely up.
Hold up. Dear Bronsexuals, you. Dear Facebook for allowing Bronsexuals on. You.
Dear ESPN for putting Braun. Dear ESPN for putting Braun on in 2003. Q, and Q.
Allowing them to
finally,
get on the
Dear
platform.
LeBron James, Q for ruining the NBA. Now get the out of my face, you thirsty hooker whores.
Oh my god.
In a world.
Sexuals on. Q. No, you worse than the Dallas Cowboys. Now get the out of my face, you thirsty bitches. You at least want to see the Cowboys cheerleaders. I don't know about the team.
Yes. In a world where logic and sense flies completely up.
Hold up. Dear Bronsexuals, Q. Dear Facebook for allowing Bronsexuals on. Q. Dear ESPN for putting Braun. Dear ESPN for putting Braun on in 2003. Q, and Q.
Allowing them to
finally,
get on the
Dear
platform.
LeBron James, Q for ruining the NBA. Now get the out of my face, you thirsty hooker whores.
In a world.
Somehow the absolute raw hatred.
I know.
Somehow the absolute raw hatred comes through on that segment. Racist women hoops fans, you a bitch. And I agree. I agree. Because you know what? Why don't we just turn it into a segment and close that way? I'll have Jay Spivey on tomorrow. Y'all will see Coffee with McCarthy on the YouTube page when I get all this done. Let's do one more break, and then we're gonna cut loose on the racist basketball fans that think the racist women's basketball fans that think they know what's going on, and they don't.
We're gonna need a big button.
I got one ready. Back in
Let's do it.
Back in 2 minutes.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go
worse.
f yourself again. Jason.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
And ever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording.
Open this door in a little while. I can't wait.
Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Okay. Since it's Monday and it's a Manic Monday, We're going to do this to close things out. Jay Spivey will come on tomorrow. As I said, you'll see Coffee with McCarthy on the YouTube page later. To all the pseudo women, give me this button here. To all the pseudo women's basketball fans that came out of the woodwork, you.
Here we go.
To all of the fans that said Dawn Staley won because she's a black coach, you. To all of the pseudo basketball fans who don't know about basketball, you too. Y'all some bitches. And a couple came in my comment section. See, you don't know basketball. You picked Iowa to win. I called the game fair down the middle. So for that comment, you a bitch.
We've called all the games fair.
Oh my God, look at Angel Reese. Look at Caitlin Clark. Look at Camila Cardoso. Look at Tessa Johnson, you stupid bitch.
Oh, we haven't even gotten into the ESPN people yet.
Them too. Putting the tournament behind a damn paywall. What the is wrong with you?
Saying Caitlin Clark hasn't done as much as what people said.
And the people that said Caitlin Clark can't get it done, shut the up. And to think ESPN said Caitlin Clark hasn't done much, shut the up, you, and you a for saying that.
Oh, God.
It ain't white versus black. It's great player versus great player. To all you pseudo basketball fans, off.
God.
You stupid. I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this, man.
This is gonna live in infamy.
Let it. Just the same as my other rant.
Oh my God. Oh.
But did I lie anywhere?
No.
Did I say any untruths anywhere?
No.
Okay. Did I put any false statements in that rant?
No.
If you really wanted to promote women's basketball, put it all on ABC. I dare you. I double dare you. Put it on ABC. All of it.
Oh.
You want to know why you're missing out on fans? You ain't putting it on free television. Because even the casual fan will tune in for a few seconds. So for that, you fool!
Yep.
It just angers me that women's sports gets treated like an afterthought. Hell, the Women's College World Series is, give me this. The Women's College World Series is behind a paywall. So, dear ESPN, for fucking up the coverage of women's sports, you. Fuck you, and you.
Oh. Wow.
Dear NCAA, for not putting the women's Final Four in big stadiums like you do the men because you feel you don't get the revenue. You lying sturds.
Oh, let's just throw everyone under the bus. Screw it.
You could have put this Final Four in Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium and sold that some out so easy.
Yep, true.
You could have easily had 65,000 from where if Iowa basketball can draw 55,000 at Kinnick Stadium on a cold day in Iowa City for an exhibition game, what makes you think you couldn't put 70,000 in Lucas Oil Stadium with a championship on the line, you stupid
Don't let the transmission hit you.
I've been a fan of NCAA women's hoops since 1982, when they had their first ever women's tournament and women's Final Four at the scope of Norfolk, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tennessee and Louisiana Tech. Kim Mulkey's alma mater, Louisiana Tech. It was Louisiana Tech and USC, I beg your pardon.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl Miller on one side, Kim Mulkey on the other. You had that on CBS. What's the fucking problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. ESPN put a whole bunch of money in their face and they took it. And as soon as they got control of the broadcast contract, they put it behind a fucking paywall. That's why some folks weren't allowed. And Peacock streaming. Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
Some of these streaming services need to go. Peacock is one of them.
There's certain things Peacock does well.
There are certain streaming services that need to go. Peacock is one of them. And guess what's going to be streamed on Peacock next year? The Super Bowl. Yeah, that's right. Oops. Now, if they do
Peacock
it,
does a good job. Sports car and IndyCar races.
That's about all they do a good job with.
All that in WWE.
I'll question that later. But as I said, dear ESPN for putting most of the NCAA tournament behind a paywall. Fuck you, and fuck you. All y'all for dropping the ball on that. I said it. All y'all.
There's the transmission.
Stupid bastards.
That's what you get when a bunch of gray wigs powdered showed up.
Putting the tournament behind a paywall.
Yep.
The stupidity lives. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. And to all that oppose us, you too. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.